Good evening, Ollie and friends. This is Fred's analysis of the UDL guidelines. As I started to explore here, I first wanted to preface my presentation. I originally had wanted to show you some things on a PC using my school computer. However, when I got my school computer home today and tried to use Screencast-O-Matic, my computer told me that I did not have the latest Java plugin. And being that I am not an administrator and do not have administrative privileges on my own computer, I could not install the Java update. So therefore, I had to switch over to Mac. So I'm not going to be able to show you all the things I wanted to show you with this presentation, but I'll still get to show you a few things. The first thing I'd like to show you is how I figured out something that I think is extremely important. Now, from a personal point of view, I have a friend who works with me at our church, and this friend refuses to send anything out unless it's in a WinMail format. Now, for those of you Mac users out there, you know that this is completely frustrating because unless you have a special app, you cannot read anything in that format when you have a Mac. So, I have encouraged this person to please send things out as PDFs. But this person refuses to do so, so I'm stuck working with this person, and I went and got the app on my computer, so it's not that big a deal now. But when it comes to accessibility for students in an online environment, I think using PDFs is extremely important just so you know that all students can see the document. For example, if I try to send something out in the latest Windows version, someone with Windows 97 might not be able to open it or might not be able to see all the things I have typed on there. Also, believe it or not, some people don't even have the Microsoft programs or Microsoft Office, so they wouldn't be able to see that anyway. If you send something out as a PDF, then PDF viewers are free and anyone can download them and then see the PDF. When it comes to the UDL guidelines, when you have a PDF, number one, it adheres to guideline number one because as a PDF, anyone can open it, like I said, and they can print it out whatever size for any visually impaired because whatever their printer allows them to print, they could print it out. Or they could enlarge their screen, they can zoom in on it if they can't see it. And also with a PDF, you don't have to worry about the formulas, especially as a math teacher, becoming jumbled or the formula format not being able to be read by an older version of the program. The PDF is basically just a snapshot. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take one of my note documents right here. This is one of the note sheets I would use in class for graphing linear inequalities. You'll see that there's a lot of notes in here. There's a lot of symbols that are mathematical symbols, the less than or equal to symbol. There's parentheses, there's fractions. So something like this might not transfer over real well if you're showing it to someone who doesn't have the exact version of Word that you would use. So basically what you do to change this to a PDF is you just go to the File menu, brings down a drop-down menu. You go to the Print menu, and then I could show you how to do this on a Windows computer too, which I think is important because I took a brief survey of some of the teachers in my hallway and they still didn't know how to do this. But if you come down here on a Mac, you go to PDF, and you go save as a PDF, choose wherever you want to save it. I'll choose it right to my desktop, and I will save it right to my desktop, and it saves as a PDF, and then it can be uploaded. Another thing that I view with accessibility with these PDFs is If you notice this document, this is the same note sheet. However, this is the answer key. This is with all of it filled in. And according to the UDL Guideline 1, I think it's important for someone who can't fill in notes, who needs to be provided with filled in notes, as is the case with some learning support students. This is easy, and I love the fact that this is color. So they get the idea of what is actually being filled in and the important things that are being learned in class. So this can be saved as a PDF with the colors, and that way they can see exactly what was filled in by the other students. The next thing that I went ahead and looked at is I went ahead and looked at a PowerPoint. So let me bring up this PowerPoint for you. This is one of the PowerPoints that actually came with our book. And this is something that could be possibly used in an online environment to teach a lesson. If you look at the slide view here, if I flip through the slides real quick, you'll see it's basically just notes as we go through the lesson here. Now, if I flip over the outline view, this gives an idea of what the notes would look like if they were actually writing them on paper, and it gives a bulleted representation of what's actually being presented on the slides. So I flip to slide 3. Here's what the slide looks like, but here's also the outline view that they can read through. Now, I think this is good because this adheres to the UDL Guideline 1, where it gives the students visual and written notes for them to see as we go through the slides. The only thing that I did not like about this in this outline view is if you click on, like, for example, slide 12 here. Slide 12 has an object pasted in here. And you'll notice that the object does not appear in the outline view, which I thought was a little bit frustrating because then they can't see actually what's on that slide in these outline view of the notes. Now, you will notice also that UDL Guideline 3 suggests that you have things in a given format. And if you notice as I flip through the slides here, they are all the same format, but you'll see that the heading is in a different color, and then all the important topics are bulleted. Heading in a different color, vocabulary words bold-faced, so they know those are important, and definitions with bold-faced vocabulary words again. So that way this is visually appealing to a student who is a visual learner, so they can pick out the important parts of the slide right away. In this one, you've got a chart with the symbol, definition, read. Once again, that goes along with UDL Guideline 3, preventing the big ideas, having everything in patterns, and having it easily processed so it's in an organized fashion. Now, if you read the reading order of these slides, now you'll notice that if you look at the reading order, it shows you how the things come up on the slides. But I like these slides because they actually fooled into thinking it's the same slide. For example, if I go from slide 8 to slide 9 here, it's exactly the same slide, but instead of using a transition, which might not be adapted well if you transfer it to an online format, this just goes, it's the same exact slide, except you have something added to the second slide, so they don't have to use a transition. It's just a copy of the slide with new information as you're taking notes here. Now, I already mentioned the color, which goes along with UDL Guideline 1, so it stands out. And I also wanted to show you something I use with color in our Active Inspire software, but obviously since I do not have my computer, I cannot do that. And the last thing I wanted to point out with the accessibility of this online PowerPoint, and it is very nice that our school provides this for us because this is not a given when it comes to the Microsoft Office programs. Our school provides us with the equation editor. So we can insert the correct equations with the correct symbols into a PowerPoint document without having to worry about the symbols not looking exactly right. This is a good example. If the properties of exponents, we can make them actually look like exponents. We can make fractions look like fractions, which is very important for UDL guideline 2, making the formulas visually acceptable so the students actually can see what's going on. Now, this is another one of the examples of fooling the fact that there's no transition, but it's the exact same slide from one to the next. So that pretty much wraps up my accessibility presentation here. What I'm going to attempt to do next is I'm going to download them to YouTube. I'm excited. I've never done it before. And I am going to attempt to add in the closed captioning. So I hope everyone has a wonderful time. It's hard to believe we only have one more week of this class left. And I'm looking forward to meeting as a class next week. And if you actually held on this long to watch the whole presentation, I'm very happy. Thank you very much.